For God's sake, Penelope Featherington, are you going to marry me or not? You decided to stop being a thought last night. And so, based on how this ended and then the previews for the second half of the season, I'm like, okay, it's clear now what they were more interested in. And it wasn't the love story between Penelope and Colin. It wasn't about Penelope finally getting her guy. I think the more interesting story of this season will be the whole whistle down thing. And it is more interesting than Penelope and Colin. Even a wallflower can bloom. Colin didn't bloom. He spent this season looking like he was lying about his conquest. It was this like super intense, like, like leading man Harlequin romance like look that he kept giving. And so I'm like, are they going to reveal that he's lying about this stuff that he did overseas? Turns out, no. Turns out he just feels pressured, by society to be a certain way. And he learns over the course of these 4 episodes that he doesn't have to be that way. Miss me with that, because Colin is not the first man we've seen in this world. We had Anthony last season. We had the Duke. It fell flat for me. The whole I thought I had to be a rake. And so that's why I was acting like that. But turns out I realized that I can care about one woman and, just focus on that. It fell flat for me. Let me talk about Penelope. Penelope, the glow up, gorgeous. I kept looking at these episodes, looking at Nicola's face, and she is so stunning. The green dress, the staircase moment that she had, that wasn't Pen. That was Penelope, businesswoman. She just killed at that ball. And so I liked the story for her. I liked her storyline of she has such a strong voice via Whistledown, so confident, but in real life, she is a wallflower. She is super shy. She is awkward. She has zero game. This season did start off strong with the whole Colin's gonna, teach her how to be charming and all that stuff. But it went off the rails seriously within the last couple of scenes of episode 4. I did like that she asked Colin for a kiss. I like that in that moment, with all the chips having fallen where they were after she excoriated herself and those Whistledown papers, which brought down her, people's opinion of her already. Furthermore, in society, she was like, what do I have left to lose? And so I like that she just, put her cards on the table and was like, I may never get kissed at this point. Please kiss me. To me, it was the confidence that she has on paper was finally brought to life. It finally came out of her mouth after having lived in her fingers for so long. And that kiss woke Colin up. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the fact that it took kissing Penelope for him to see her. It's just what happened afterwards. I do think it happened too fast. And I think the problem is the fact that Penelope has been in love with Colin. And so Colin doesn't have to do anything, unfortunately. And I think, in my opinion, they were intentional. They made their choice. But I do think they kind of fell into the trap of Penelope has been in love with Colin. And so then we don't have to show the audience why Colin deserves Penelope. You know what I mean? Yes, we've seen Colin be a nice guy. He's caring. He cared about, Miss Thompson / Lady Crane. He cares about people. He cares about his family and all that stuff. He's sweet. All the things that his mom said about him, but he hasn't seen her in so long. Yes, the kiss woke him up. That's fine. But also give me more. Give me more than him having one dream about kissing her again and then deciding that, he wants to marry her. It wasn't enough. I needed more. And I think due to how long and how obvious they've been and explicit they've been about how Penelope feels about Colin, it was just okay, so now all we have to do is have Colin say that he didn't even say he loves her. Have him kiss her and say he wants to be more than friends, and boom, bam, we're done. And then next season, hopefully we'll get some cute moments and stuff, but I just feel like it's a done deal for me. I won't put anything past Shonda in terms of turning my feelings around, but I don't like how this was played out. I don't like how quick it was for Colin. I do think Penelope deserved better. I do think Penelope deserves better than Colin. But you can't tell Penelope nothing because she does have her guy now. and it's done. Other characters, I do like what we've seen so far for Eloise. I do like where Whistledown exposing her has put her. She has been knocked off of her pedestal. I like the scene in season 2 where Penelope was like, all you do is talk. All you do is talk. Like, what do you actually do? All you do is talk about like how things should be and you be reading and stuff. Like, I'm the one out here writing, and I mean, she'd be ruining people's lives and stuff like that. But I mean, it was a good like call out. And so I like that, like, in trying to deal with this, Eloise is like putting her toe in society and trying to play the game, but also like you see where like these conversations that these girls are having are just like melting her brain. I do like this season for her. Let me just say that I love Benedict. I can't wait for his storyline. I find him so charming and so funny. I don't know if this lady is it for him, but I do enjoy him whenever he is on screen. Now, Francesca, let me tell you, when she popped up on screen and they're like, it's her season, she's making her debut, I was like, okay, because the way I don't necessarily recognize all of the Bridgertons, even at this point. I feel like she's the only one, though. I feel like I know everybody else, even if I can't name them, that little boy, that little girl. Oh, Hyacinth, I love her name. That little boy, I do not know his name. But Francesca, I was like, yes, I do remember there was one who was always on a piano, but okay. She was fine. I mean, the season is not about her. But she was cute. Her and her little love interest, they're cute. She's super logical. She didn't really give us anything, but that's fine. It wasn't her thing to give. Like, this wasn't her glow up. She's just like, fodder. Fine. Violet and Lady Danbury's brother, she's feeling some tingles, clearly. I can't wait to see where that goes. I'm excited for that. We had Mr. Mondrich in a storyline. Part of me is like, what is the point of Mr. Mondrich and why does he keep popping up? But I guess he's just like part of the ton and is here like to show us that there are Black people around. They moved on up to the east side, and he's trying to hold on to hard work, and someone flat out told him that like people in high society do not work. That's not like, they just go to parties and stuff like that. They don't work. But it was interesting to see that struggle of like, this fell into our lap. We did nothing to deserve it other than be related to the right people. His wife was, and he's having a struggle. And so interested to see how that plays out. Anthony and Kate still clearing, like they cleared Penelope and Colin. Like even in the little scenes that they had, I was like, yeah. These two are not giving that. And it's Colin's fault. It's all because of Colin. Penelope is fine. It's Colin. He's the problem. Hold on. I also want to say that runaway hot air balloon scene had me looking like, Penelope, stand up, girl. Like, just stand up. You have more than enough time. Maybe it's just the fact that they're not used to hot air balloons. So it was very frightening and she froze. But when she felt it, I was like, girl, if you don't stand up. I also really enjoyed the reminder that, like, yes, we're watching for the love matches, and the love matches are cute. They're, we stand them, we root for them, but it's also a privilege to have a love match. I appreciated the reminder via Cressida. Also, anything with Lady Featherington and Cressida's mom as well. I like, most of these women are looking for matches to save their lives. And we had the same thing with, well, not the same thing, because Lady Danbury in Queen Charlotte's season wasn't looking for a match to save her life. She actually avoided it. Now that she was freer with her husband dead, she was looking for that freedom through her son, just like Cressida's mom is looking for freedom via her daughter because the husband is tightening the noose around her neck. So I appreciated that reminder via the pressure that Cressida's under, but also with Lady Featherington marrying her daughters off and pushing them to have a son so that she can secure her future and keep the way of life that she's been used to since her husband died. Most of these women are marrying for their survival and then don't have any freedom until their husbands croak. So I think that's it for the season. And like I said, that's the story. It's Whistledown. And very interested to see how that's going to play out for Penelope and how she's going to rectify that. Let me know what you thought of the season, the first half.